How is everybody today? This is Pete here at Spawn Fly Fish, and I'd like to tie one of my favorite little dry flies, the Griffith Gnat, but I'm going to put a little twist on it. So to get started, in the vise I've got the Daiichi 1120, and this is a size 14. I know it sounds big for a Griffith Gnat, but this hook itself is 1x short, and it's also a little heavy for like your typical small dry fly. But I do like that, and the reason I'm using it is because it sits a little bit lower in the surface. So it's actually in the surface instead of on the surface. And as far as fishing for, midges, little mayflies, whatever I'm trying to replicate, to me they always perform a little better when they sit in the film instead of on top of the surface. But let's get back to this. So I've got two dry fly hackles here, one grizzly and one brown. And I know you're thinking, why would you have that for a Griffith Gnat? Well, I do like the Griffith Gnat in all its different variations, but I really like the coloration of the atoms. So why not combine them? And so what I'm going to do here is get the traditional brown and grizzly hackle that you would see on an Adams and tie those in. So that will be the hackle that I'm using for this Griffith. So now to separate the body a little bit, instead of peacock and some of the other dubbings that you have seen, Antron's very popular. For this I'm going to use some Spawn Simi seal in the white silver, and I've cut it up so that it's only 1/4 inch pieces, let's say. And I'm going to dub that onto my thread, but the reason I'm using this is once it's dubbed and wrapped in here, it will have the illusion of a grayish body, and then the glints of flash are going to replicate the wings and any little buzzing and moving that there is inside of this cloud of bugs called the midge cluster. And after you've got this tied in and then you wrap that hackle through here, it really does a great job of mimicking not just a midge cluster, but an emerging bug that's stuck here and there in a shuck and all that good stuff. So, I mean, it's just a fish catcher. And if you've ever fished a Griffith Gnat, you know it's a bug that you do need to have in your fly box. All right, so now I'm just going to wrap this back. Not too concerned with exact coverage, because once we get to the back, of course, we're going to dub back toward the hook eye. So anything we missed on the way back, we'll be sure to pay attention and cover it on the way back toward the hook eye. Just a little bit more dubbing there. I think we're going to be good with that. So if you're curious, the Griffith Gnat is named for George Griffith, and he sure did fish the heck out of this fly. But like all these things, there's usually a little bit of drama somewhere if you look deep enough. And it's rumored that George himself did not come up with this fly, but instead somebody named Walter Shaw originated the fly, showed it to Griffith, and Griffith fished it with such success. Of course, he named it after himself as his favorite fly. But what do I know? I never got to meet them, so the world can wonder. All right, so now I've got both those hackles tied in. And be patient with this, because dry fly hackle can get a little unruly and it wants to turn. But we tied these in by the tips again, and we tied them with the convex convex side, which is the top of these feathers, facing upward. And we put the concave or inside of the feathers toward the hook. So now as we wrap these, we're going to have that darker or prettier top side facing the front of the fly. But what's really important here is that we're going to have all these buggy looking legs and everything flying off this fly, while inside the fly we're going to have these little glints of light popping through. And this is buggy. It's about as buggy and simple as it gets. And effective. All right, so we're getting to the nitty gritty here. I'm going to pass that, excuse my fingers. Try not to take the thread off too. And looks like we're going to get one more. I'm going to twist this one just to get that final wrap of hackle in there. Now right behind that hook eye. Perfect where I want to be. And just be careful you don't crowd the eye on these. It's pretty simple to do. There's a lot of nasty, messy hackle. So as best you can, once you've got it tied down, push all those fibers back with your offhand and just start sneaking some thread wraps in there. And you can see it's not perfect. There are some little ones poking through, but that's okay. And as far as thread, keep it small. I recommend size 8/0 or smaller. Whatever you have handy, I guess, is good. So like everything, fly tying can be easily adapted to what you have on hand. You don't need all the specific stuff every time for an exact fly recipe. Go ahead and be creative. Throw some substitutions in there once in a while and really find out what does and does not work. All right, so now I'm just going to throw some whip finishes here. And we'll do one more because this thing is going to get chewed up. And then we're ready for some cement, and it's time to go catch a fish. Like so, nothing to it. I'm gonna put a little Loon hard head clear on there and call this sucker good. And again, remember you can tie this with dubbing as the body. You can use Flashaboo. You can use peacock. I've had success using some ostrich as the inner core for the body. It's all up to you. And then what's really important is it's up to the fish. So don't be shy. Tie him something fun at the vise. Find out. And there you have it. Adams Griffith Gnat on a size 14, 11/20. Thanks guys for watching. We really appreciate it. Leave any comments you want us to address below. And please hit like and subscribe. And we will see you on the water.